For the first time in quite some time, the best pick out of a free BND Champion Fantasy Pack is not an easy decision. So in this video, I'm going to be going through and showing you the best option you want to be picking out of the Super Bowl Champion Fantasy Pack. Now, Salsa family, and welcome back to another Madden 25 Ultimate Team video. Hope you watching this one are having a wonderful start to your day. And without further ado, let's get it started. Now, first things first, the pack itself. Let's open this bad boy up. We've got a 95 overall BND Super Bowl Fantasy Pack right here. We could also take some coins, or we could take a 92 plus player, and the way you get this pack for free is by maxing out your Super Bowl Field Pass. Now, I made a video yesterday showing you the optimal solution and how you can max this Field Pass out in about 20 minutes. If you have yet to do so, watch that video first. I will leave it linked in the description, but let's make our selection. Okay, here we go, baby. There's going to be a ton of incredible options inside of this pack, and honestly, this is one of the more difficult decisions we've had to make in quite some time on the channel, because there's about 15 cards you can pick in here. A lot of them are insane. As we scroll through, Reggie Wayne is nice. Herb Adderley is insane. There's a Nolan Smith who's awesome. Deion Sanders, receiver and corner, are incredible. There's some good pass rushers. Man, oh man, there's some good options. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break your top options into 3 different categories. There's 3 different categories of players you guys can select out of this pack. Number 1 is a wide receiver. Number 2 is a cornerback. And number 3 is a pass rusher or offensive lineman. Now, the reason why I haven't included every single position in here, such as a quarterback or such as a running back, is because when it comes to picking a BND player for your squad, I don't love taking a quarterback, because if I want to upgrade that card, well, he'll have no value to me. And same thing would go with running back. If I pick Jamal Lewis and then I want a new running back in this game, Jamal Lewis would have no value. Whereas if I take a corner, like let's say for example Herb Adderley, and I buy a new cornerback, Herb will still play at corner 2 or corner 3. Okay, now let's start by talking about the wide receiver position group, because honestly the most important part of this decision is not necessarily the stats on these players, but it's actually going to be going through and understanding the abilities you can get on these cards. Now, when it comes to the receivers right now, your best options are either Deion Sanders or Devontae Smith. Me personally, I think that Deion Sanders is probably the best wide receiver card you can go with. He's going to have some solid abilities, but abilities don't matter a ton for a receiver. He's 96 speed, 99 acceleration. Their route runnings are 92, 91, and 93. And in terms of the speed, acceleration, agility, and route running combination, this card is the best. Devontae Smith is nice as well, but he's a little bit slower when it comes to acceleration. The route running is a little bit worse. So for me personally, if you're going receiver, I think Deion Sanders wide receiver is the best to pick. But honestly, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I feel like there's so many really good BND receivers right now in Madden Ultimate Team. So Deion Sanders is probably going to come in as my 3rd ranking card. Option number 2, a pass rusher or offensive lineman. The reason why I've grouped these 2 players into the same category is because if you're taking an offensive lineman or a pass rusher, you kind of have a similar mindset. You likely have an unbelievable team. You don't want to buy a wide receiver or cornerback because you know you're going to be going through and buying the next best receiver or the next best corner. So instead, you want to take a BND at a position like pass rusher, where likely you're going to have the best team 24/7 at quarterback, wide receiver, running back. You can afford to have someone who might not be the best in a month from now at one of these positions. Now, to be honest, I really only recommend you make this decision if you've got a super elite Madden 25 Ultimate Team or you are currently rocking a theme team. But in my opinion, the best pass rusher, if you want to go with one, is Nolan Smith. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 96 finesse move. He is an absolute dog. 96 block shed as well. The card is unbelievable, and actually in terms of boost right here, if he gets 1 sack in the first half, he's going to get edge threat for 0 AP, which will be a pretty crazy ability on this card, I can't lie. Then if you want to go offensive lineman, there's only one. It's Larry Little. Again, I'm not a huge fan right now of going with an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. I'd probably rank this option as Nolan Smith being number 2. Now that leaves us with the number 1 option, which you guessed it is going to be a corner. And the reason why I think the corners are just so good out of this pack is because their stats are amazing, but more importantly, their abilities are amazing. And comparing wide receiver abilities to cornerback abilities, getting good abilities on a corner is more important than a receiver. And these cards, well, they have some of the best abilities in the game, so I think you want to optimize and pick a corner out of this because they get such good abilities and such good stats. Now, before I show you guys who the best player is, let me give a quick shout out to Underdog Fantasy. It's officially Super Bowl weekend, which means we are making a ton of picks over on Underdog, and Underdog, they're giving away free money. Now, number 1, this is my no sweat entry for the game on Sunday. What this means is if this pick hits, I win $55 fine and dandy. If it loses, I get my money refunded. It's a free chance to win. If you guys want that, that's on Underdog. Number 2, I also have an Xavier Worthy free square. Xavier Worthy's line set to 0.5 yards. That is free money. We combine it with a couple other picks that I think are going to hit. it, and that's a free square. That's easy. And number 3, there's also a Travis Kelce free pick, which is available to anyone that signs up and puts in the promo code SWIFT before Super Bowl Sunday. If you want access, I'm leaving Underdog linked in the description. I've been absolutely feasting the past couple of days, made over $700 on NBA, which is insane. So let's keep the wins rolling into Sunday football. All right, cornerbacks, this is where you guys are making your decision. It comes down to these 3 cards: Deion Sanders at corner, Herb Adderley at corner, or Jalen Watson. Now, first things first, the 3 cards, they basically all have the exact same stats, so we don't really need to worry about the stats on these cards. Instead, let's look at abilities. And in terms of the ability stack that Deion Sanders is going to get, he's going to get Pick Artist for 0 AP, he gets Deep Out Zone KO for 1 AP, and he's also going to get Mid Zone KO for 1 AP. That is an incredible stack. He also gets Universal Coverage if you want it for 3 AP, which is the equivalent of Mid Zone KO, Deep Zone KO, and Flat Zone KO all in one ability. So that stack is pretty godly on Deion Sanders, but let's look at the other cards. Herb Adderley right here is going to be getting Pick Artist and Flat Zone KO for 0 AP. That is kind of crazy. He's also going to get Mid Zone KO for 1, which is going to be his X Factor ability. I feel like Herb Adderley is more the card you want to pick if you want a slot zone cornerback. For me personally, though, I think Deion Sanders has a little bit more versatility because he can really do anything when it comes to the abilities. And then finally, there's also a Jalen Watson. Jalen Watson's abilities, they're just not as good. Pick Artist for 0. I'm seeing a lot of other man coverage abilities. There's kind of just less right here. He gets Mid for 1 as well, but I feel like there's no ability that Jalen Watson gets that Deion Sanders doesn't. And the same is basically going to be said about Deion Sanders. The only thing better about Herb Adderley than Deion Sanders is if you prefer a corner who's going to be in the box. But if you want someone that's got the versatility, I think Deion Sanders is your man. The abilities are there. The stats are there. The card is pretty incredible, I can't lie to you. So me personally, I'm taking Deion Sanders himself, and a very important thing you need to know the second you select this card is you need to upgrade them in order to get some of these abilities. As you guys can see right here, if you go through and put in some specific cards in Deion Sanders, like the 85, 89, and 92 overall versions of Deion Sanders, that will allow you to get some of the specific abilities that I just showed you discounted at the right price. Now, for most people, you probably don't need universal coverage. So let's say, for example, you just got Deion Sanders, you just picked him. I think you just need to buy an 85 and an 89 overall version of the cards in order to get the really good abilities that you want. And I mean, I guess in total, you're spending like 25,000 coins, but it is so worth it. Put these 2 cards into Deion Sanders as though you're upgrading him with training. And then as you guys can see right here, in terms of the stack you want to rock with, I like Deep Out Zone KO for 1 AP in this slot. Then as we move on over to slot number 3, Pick Artist for 0 AP. And then slot number 2 on this Deion Sanders card, I like Mid Zone KO for 1 AP. We basically create a super corner, Deep Out, Mid, and Pick Artist for a total of 2 AP is an insane deal. And that is your answer for who you guys want to be picking and how you can make Deion into what is, in my opinion, the best corner in the game for the cheapest amount of AP possible with the best stats and the best long-term value. And that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed this one, drop a like down below. And until next time, I'm out. Love y'all. See ya.